Prabhu Nityananda Govinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Okay, so now we'll do with the revision of the verses. Okay. So is anybody ready to say it without looking?
Ramachandra.
Yes, Ramachandra.
Akshita.
Okay, Ramachandra and then Akshita.
Trivedam narakashedam dvaram nashanamatmanah kamakrodhastatalobhas tasmadetattrayam tyajet.
Very good. Akshita.
Trivedam narakashedam.
No worries. The slide is up. No worries. You can look and see.
Dvaram nashanamatmanah kamakrodhastatalobhas tasmat etattrayam tyajet.
Very good. Anybody else wants to say?
Suraj.
Okay, Suraj. Go ahead. You want it look and say or you want it without looking?
Without.
Okay, go ahead.
Trividam narakasedam dvaram nashanamatmanah kamakrodhastatalobhas
Tasmade.
etattrayam tyajet.
Very good. Okay, Ashutosh and then Balram. Yes, Ashutosh.
Trividam narakasedam dvaram nashanamatmanah kamakrodhastatalobhas tasmadetattrayam tyajet.
Very good. Balram, you want to look and say or without looking?
Without looking, he can say.
Okay.
Trividam dvara nashanamatmana kamakrodhastatalobhas tasmadetattrayam tyajet.
Very good, Balram. Very good. Okay, now who is it?
Vrinda wants to say, Mataji.
Vrinda, go ahead. Go ahead, Vrinda.
Trividam narakasedam dvaram nashanamatmanah.
No worries, you can look. Kama.
Kavahat krastadaravas tasmadetam daram tajet.
Mataji, she cannot read, Mataji, even though you should.
I know, that's what I was wondering. Though I keep it also, it's not going to help. So she has memorized it. Very nice, Vrinda. Now who else? Anybody wants to say the translation?
Nandini.
Yes, Nandini.
Mataji, can I? There
You
are
want to say
three.
this verse also?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Trividam narakasedam dvaram nasamana atmana kamakrodhastathalobhas tasma etattrayam tajet.
Very good. Now,
There are three.
okay, go ahead, go ahead.
There are three gates leading to hell: lust, and greed. Hell, lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul.
Very good. Do we have Aura with us today?
Mataji, can I say the slokam one?
Okay, who is this?
Yoshita.
Okay, Yoshita, go ahead. Very good. Okay, now I want someone to say the translation. Can you someone read the translation from here?
Ramachandra.
Okay, go ahead, Ramachandra.
Three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, or the lead to the degradation of the soul.
Okay, now again this topic which we are doing in this this is the continuation of the last class which Saroj Nandini Mataji took. Okay, so we'll be continuing from there. Now I just want to, before we go to the second verse, we'll see how this verse of ours, like this verse which we are learning, is going to be connected to the topic which we are doing today. Okay, so what we had done was Mataji had started with the story of Manigriva and Nalkuvera, right? So we'll go in this story. Okay, we'll go with the story as the revision and then we'll go with the further part. Okay. So the deliverance of Manigriva and Nalkuvera. Now, how does the story go? Nalkuvera and Manigriva were the sons of Kuvera. Okay, and they were also demigods. Now, demigods, they have a very opulent life. Okay, like they have all type of opulences and it's very they have a very nice life rather. So what happened was that when you have a lot of things, when suppose now you have you know what, like suppose you have lots of sweets, then what happens is you are eating every day, you are eating sweets, every day you are eating sweets. So then the third day you do not have that importance because you have that thing in abundance. So the same way happened with these two of them. What happened? They had all sorts of addictions to enjoy. They had wine. They had many apsaras around them. Many apsaras means those who were in the courtiers who used to dance to make them happy. So all this company they had. And when you are not on the spiritual path and when you get diverted from the spiritual path, what happens is the best example which we will learn in Manigriva and Nalkuvera story. Okay, so what happened was, once they were enjoying water sports in the water bodies of in a water body like a small lake, they were enjoying their pastime with all some women and some wine, and they were having very nice time over there. Now, according to our tradition, what do we do when some elderly person or when some knowledgeable person or when some guru, anyone comes, we always pay our obeisances to them. Now, this is a normal practice. But what happens when you get carried away with your anger or carried away with your lust or carried away with your very bad attitude? What happens is you do not remember what is right and what is wrong. Okay, so these two were also having a nice time. They were drinking wine, they were drinking all maduras, they were drinking somaras, they were drinking, and they were having nice time. In that time, around that time, what happened was Narad Muni came in there, and Narad Muni is a very renowned person. He is to be, you have to pay obeisances when he comes. But what Narad Muni saw was that rather the women who were around, the apsaras who were around Nalkuvera, they tried to be more, they got embarrassed and they tried to cover up themselves and they tried to hide themselves. But Nalkuvera, they were not. They were in the water bodies, in that same, they were not having clothes on, and they were just with the like shameless, they were standing in front of Narad Muni. And Narad Muni was very, very angry on them. Okay, he thought that because of these intoxication, that is because of this wine and because of this bad habits, you do not understand what is right and what is wrong. And then he cursed them. Okay, see, Narad Muni was disgusted with the shameful actions. He wanted them to stop their false enjoyment, because this is all false enjoyment, right? If you have to get intoxicated, if you have to get engrossed in something, you might get engrossed in chanting, you might get engrossed in the singing of the Lord, and then you might dance like a madman. It is not, that will not be a problem for you. right? Instead of drinking wine and then getting mad and then dancing on the street, it is always good to have Sankirtan and then dance on the street, right? So when Narad Muni saw this, he did not like it, okay? He wanted them to stop this, and so out of compassion he cursed them. Now you'll say, what is compassion? Compassion means feelings, having some good feelings for that person. And then how out of compassion can Narad Muni curse someone? How can a curse be a compassion? Yes.
He had compassion because he wanted to help them out of that intoxication.
Okay, so that means Narad Muni wanted them to get back on the path of their spiritual enlightenment. So he wanted them to come out of this intoxicated life. Okay, and for their upliftment, this curse helped. We'll see how this is going to help not be a curse for them. Okay, and how it is going to be a mercy of Narad Muni. And then he cursed them that they will see the Lord, but after a long time. See, by his mercy, they would be able to remember why they were being punished, and they would remain as trees for 100 demigod years. Okay. Now again, they say like, why would they become trees? Can anybody say that why did they become trees? Anybody has any answer?
Ramchandra.
Yes, Ramachandra, and then Vrinda.
Because they're naked.
Yes.
They were not wearing clothes.
Very good. See, you all know everything very nicely. So nice of you. So they were not wearing clothes, right? So then in this lifetime you should remember these people who are not in the proper behavior, who are not proper wearing clothes. You should not try to imitate them. Somebody go like any sorts of nonsense clothes they wear, you should not imitate them. You should always see what is we have learned about the Vaishnava, right? When you go to the temple, you wear a gopi dress or you wear a sari. When the boys when you go to the temple, wear a dhoti. That is your attire. Does that mean that I tell you go to the school also wearing a dhoti?
No.
I tell you that no. Each and every attire has a specific place. Okay? And we do not go to places which are prohibited, which we should not go. We should not be going to pub and we should not be going to drinking wine and liquor, right? So you don't need to see what the people are going to wear there. And we should not ever get intimidated that, oh, my friend, see, she's wearing such clothes and she's going. Never get into that. Because always remember, if you get into that consciousness of wearing half clothes, not wearing clothes, then what? In your next life, Lord will say, okay, you wanted this desire, you can become a tree now. At the end of our life, whatever will be our consciousness, we will get into that life body. Okay? So always remember, have a very pure consciousness. Okay, coming back to our story. So when these both were into this intoxicated state, they were cursed. Okay? And then we have the famous Damodar Leela. If we go into the Damodar Leela, we'll not finish our class. So we will cut short the Damodar Leela. We'll have another class for it specifically. But so for thousands of years, because demigods years are thousands of years, right? They live for thousands of years. So for thousands of years, these two were as trees. Okay? And they waited for the Lord to come. Because their deliverance, their liberation was only through the hands of the Lord. Okay, they were twin trees. They were twin trees which were in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And when in the Damodar Leela, when Balkrishna, he goes in between the two trees along with the mortar attached to him. And when he goes between the two trees, what happens? The mortar cannot pass through the two trees. So the trees, the Lord Krishna tries to pull in the mortar and the two trees fall apart. See? Can you see this? And when these two trees fall apart, these two demigods, they get liberated. And whom do they see?
Krishna.
Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna himself purified them and himself came to liberate them. Okay? And that is the reason we say that Narad Muni did not curse them. Rather, it was a boon for them. Because to a normal human being also, or to demigods also, to see the Lord and to see the Lord in his childhood form is a benediction. That means you should really have that faith that you should be able to see the Lord. and these two, they saw the Lord face to face, and they saw the Bala Leela of Lord Krishna. So they were very fortunate souls. So Narad Muni did not really curse them, but they got liberated from this the tree life, right, which they were given by Narad Muni.
Mom.
Yes.
But what is what's so special about seeing the Lord and seeing the Lord?
Okay, so Ashutosh has asked a question. What is so special about seeing the Lord in the baby form? Now, seeing the Lord in the baby form, the Lord takes this form very, very rarely, right? So, and seeing the Lord's baby pastimes are itself purifying. Your soul, you will be purified when you see the Lord face to face. And these two got to see, because they were in the courtyard, in the garden of Nanda Maharaj. So they could see Lord Krishna every day crawling, and they got free from this life with the help of Lord, because of the Lord. So that was the best part of their life. If we see, we always see the Lord in his four-armed form, or in the holding the flute. But this form of the Lord, seeing this form of the Lord, only very, very fortunate souls could see this form of the Lord. Okay? So they were relieved of their curse and were able to personally see the Lord. Okay? So now again, with our coming back to our verse, why is this verse where I said about our first verse? Like, again we are talking about lust, anger and greed. Okay? So over here, Nal Kuvera are also into greed. They are also into lust. They are into lust of drinking wine, enjoying women. So they were getting intoxicated. So you have to always remember our verse again and again. Okay? That, what is our verse again? Always, whenever you remember such instance, go back to our verse. Okay, what was it? There are 3 gates leading to hell. Lust, anger and greed. These are the 3 gates. Every sane man should give these up. So, when Nal Kuvera gave these up, what happened? Their souls did not get degraded. They did not get stuck up in that life, right? So they could be liberated once their lust, greed was gone. So, what the pastime represents? This pastime is what we saw, that Nal Kuvera were intoxicated, right? That means, and in intoxication, what did they do? Did they pay obeisances to Narad Muni?
No.
No. So in that intoxication, they did a sin. They did a very big mistake of not even recognizing Narad Muni, right? So, is intoxication good for us?
No.
So over here it is said that intoxication will lead to loss of self-control. What does that mean? Loss of self-control?
Nothing.
Yes, you get crazy and mad. Somebody else?
Losing self-control means like you don't have control of yourself and you don't know what you're doing.
Very good. You do not know what you are doing. You do not know what is right and wrong, because that thinking power is lost. The brain, the intoxication covers the brain of the right and wrong things. Okay? And in this intoxication, we have so many times we see in news, right? There are so many bad things happening. People get mad for a fraction of a second and they do something which they repent for their whole life. And it is irreparable. Okay? Now the most important thing, when you grow up, you will see that in schools, in high schools, you will see that there are sometimes you might see that bad company, there are people with bad company, and there are lots of other people who will try to sell drugs. That is the reason you have to be in the path of Krishna consciousness always. Because when you read these verses, you will remember this, that, oh, somebody called us as Nandini Mataji, somebody called us Sitapriti Mataji, somebody called us Priti Vilasini Mataji had taught me that you should not get into intoxication, because you will do wrong things. There are so many accidents which happen when people drink and drive, right? So now I'm going to show you a photo over here, and you tell me, what do you feel about this?
Look at that.
Can you see this photo? Yes. So there are these 2 photos. One is the photo when this person was okay. And this is the photo after she started taking drugs. Okay? So, you can choose for yourself, how do you want to look? Do you want to look like this? Or do you want to look like this?
The first one.
Right? Yes. So you want to look good also, right? So, this intoxication is not going to help you in any way. It will make you look all, like it will mess up. You will not know what you are doing. See, look at the hair also. So, it's not going to be a good life. So always make the right choices. If somebody is offering you also anything, when you go anywhere, always remember, if somebody is offering you something, if you do not know that person and they are giving you some glass of juice, this happens when you go to your middle school, when you go to your high school. If somebody is giving you a juice, do not drink that, because there are so many cases wherein people try to contaminate it with some other toxin, and then you go mad, you go crazy, or you fall unconscious. So anytime, that is the reason Srila Prabhupada has been so merciful on us. He says no soda, nothing, no caffeinated drink. So if you happen to go to a party also, you are not in any trouble, because you know you are not going to drink a Coke, you are not going to drink any Thumbs Up, any Pepsi, anything you are not going to drink. So there is no point of you getting into trouble. So always, always, always remember this. Okay? If you have to go, you cannot avoid it. Sometimes you have to go to some birthday party. Do not, when you grow old and you are by yourself, do not drink anything. Take a glass of water or take a bottle of water and you say, I'm good with that. Or take a juice for yourself and you say, I'm good with that. Okay? I know you all are very good kids, so you will not go wrong. Okay. Now it happens that these Nal Kuvera, what they were very opulent, right? So it's always pride that comes in. Suppose you are very rich, you have 2-3 cars, and then what happens? You do not even know which car is gone where, which is where. So always try to remember like simple living and high thinking. That will help us in our life to go on the path of Krishna consciousness. Okay? See, pride coming from good birth. Now, why is this good birth? Always remember, like Lord Krishna, because of our past karma, it is not a raffle, or it is not a lucky draw. Okay, now this person will go to this birth, this person will go to this birth. It is not a lucky draw. It depends upon what karma you have done in this life, that you will get your next life. And when in your next life, if you get a very opulent birth, that means a birth in a family which is very well-to-do, in that life, always Lord will see that you get an association of devotees. And whenever you get association of devotees, do not lose it. Okay? At any cost, do not lose it. Rather, because you are in a good family, you do not have to run for making money, right? Because you are in a well-to-do family, if you are not working at that point also, you are not going to lose anything. So you should start preaching. You should try to get others into this Krishna consciousness. Try to feed them prasadam. This Kartik month is very nice. That if you feed prasadam, you cook some cookies at home. On Saturday, Sundays you have time. Cook some cookies at home and distribute it as prasadam. Offer it to the Lord and distribute it as prasadam. What will happen? Because of this sukruti, that means because of this good deed, that some person has taken prasadam, they will in their next life, maybe in this life or in next life, come to Krishna consciousness. Okay? So remember that if you have a very good life, if you have a rich family, try to get others to get into Krishna consciousness. Okay? And no intoxication. So this pastime tells us that we should not be intoxicated, and never gambling. No, and intoxication is going to lead to loss of self-control. Okay? And then you will have a violent life, and then it might lead into jail also. And I don't think so anybody wants to go to the jail. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll go back to our second verse. I just wanted to have a correlation between what we are learning and what the verse is. Now I want Arav, have you joined? Because I did not hear Arav saying the verse. Okay, so who is there? Chinmay, can you say the verse? Chinmay, can you say the verse? Okay. Jagannath. Jagannath.
Say. Mataji, sorry. Say.
Okay.
Nandini.
Adugu.
Mataji.
Read. Mataji wants you to say this. Mataji, want him to recite that shloka?
Yes.
Tasvachastra. Pranamam karya
Vyavasthitau Jnatva
Shastra
Vidhanoktam Karma Kartum Viharasi.
Nandini.
Yes, Nandini, go ahead.
Tasmat chatram pranamante karya vyavastito nasta shastra vidhanottam karma karton iharasi.
Shreyas.
Krishna.
Yes, can you say? Okay. Who wants to say?
Krishna.
Krishna and then Vrinda. Yes, okay.
Karya vyavastito Vrinda shastra vidhanottam karya kartum iharasi.
Okay, I want everybody to repeat after me because I see that some pronunciations are not okay. Everybody repeat after me. Tasmat shastram pramanam te. It is pramanam, prananam not. Pramanam. And this is karya, akarya. These are two words. Karya, akarya, vyavasthitau. Jnatva, shastra. Vidhanoktam. Karma kartum. Iharasi. Okay.
Mataji, Vrinda wants to recite.
Yeah, Vrinda, and then we'll go to the next part. Yes, Vrinda.
Natva shastra vidhanottam Thank you.
Very good. Now, somebody translation. Who is it?
Ramachandra.
Okay, Akshita, can you read the translation?
One should understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated.
Okay. Now tell me in the Nalkuvira story, how is this related? Can we have this? One should understand what is duty and what is not duty. So what did Nalkuvira do over here?
He was drinking wine. And he was playing with
Yeah. So what is duty? When a sadhu comes in, you have to pay obeisance. So they did not do that. And they did not abide with the regulations of the scriptures. And that is the reason they were punished. Okay. So now. So we saw this also, misuse of wealth. That means, like suppose if Krishna has given you a good birth, what should we do?
given us a bar.
Can somebody tell me, if Krishna has given you a proper birth wherein you have a nice life, you have nice money also, what should you do?
We should respect that.
We should use it in the service of the Lord, okay? You can sponsor sometimes prasadam, you can sponsor sometimes Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam sets to those who do not have it. Okay, so that will also be a service to the Lord. So can I do like this? If I have more money, can I have some intoxicated drinks distributed to everyone?
No.
But if can I have it as prasadam distributed to everyone? Can I do that?
Yes, yeah. No.
No.
No. Why
No.
can I not do that? Why can I not do that?
Because it's intoxication.
Because it is.
Intoxication.
Yes, it is intoxication. And Lord, we cannot offer anything to the Lord which is intoxicated, right? Patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. That Krishna does not say, give me something, drink. Yes, so we cannot, whatever we cannot offer it to the Lord, we cannot offer it to anyone and we cannot eat that. This is a simple rule, okay? So you should not say that, oh, if I'm going to take some coffee and I will offer it to Krishna and then I will give it to somebody else. No, we do not offer anything which is intoxicated to Krishna, okay? Can somebody tell me one reason how they misuse money?
On toys.
Okay.
On bad stuff.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much. So,
And
see,
it's like you don't need.
yes. So when one is intoxicated, they do not know what is right from wrong. Just as the sons of Kubera, right? So intoxication can make you work in foolish ways. You might dance on the street like a mad person, right? So you do not want that. Or sometimes in anger you might harm somebody else. So we do not want that intoxication. Always remember that. And there are so many crimes committed only because of this intoxication. Okay, so it's always advisable to stay away from this. That is the reason we do not even have this tea and coffee, because they are also intoxications. You can get agitated, or you can get somebody says that, oh, when I get up I cannot do anything unless I drink tea. That means you are getting addicted to it. You should not be addicted to anything else. But if somebody says, oh, you know what, if my head starts hurting if I have not chanted, that is a positive addiction. That addiction is okay. Okay, so that is good for you. Okay.
Mataji,
Yes.
what does intoxication mean?
Intoxication means, toxic is what? Poisonous, right? And intoxication means when we are consuming something which is not good for your body, which might not be totally poison, but it is not good because it will cover your consciousness. Okay, and that not exactly a poisonous thing, but because it is going to cover up your consciousness, because it is going to cover up your thinking power, it is not a good choice for you. Okay, and then you get addicted to it. Without that you cannot think anything. Like, to give a very simple example, when everybody has been drinking tea, okay, many of the elders, they say, oh, unless I drink tea I cannot think straight. So that is an intoxication. So it is an intoxication. So when something leads you to go away from your normal routine, or when something eating, drinking will lead you away from your spiritual life, that is going to be an intoxication for you. You know what, like if you are into watching TV, that is also an addiction for you. Yeah, give it in a plastic bag. So sorry. So if you are addicted to watching TV, that is also addiction. If you are watching phone always, that is also an addiction. Okay, so intoxication might not compulsory be that you are eating anything and get intoxicated. Over here we are talking about eating, drinking, but intoxication can be of your thinking also. Because of your doing that, if you are going away from your Krishna consciousness, that is an intoxication for you. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Okay. So see, then everything, all these examples which you have seen, Agasuna represents cruelty to others, right? And because they are again with pride, that they are very brave, or they are very strong. That is also one type of false ego. And you always have to remember that you have to be vegetarians. That do not forget any time, because that will show your compassion towards animals, right? So if you say, oh, I love my dog, but then somebody goes and cuts a goat and eats. Is that compassion? No. If you are compassionate, you are going to be compassionate to each and every human being, right? So you cannot say anything haphazardly. If you are compassionate to an ant, you can be a compassionate to a dog also, to an elephant also. So that compassion has to be equalized everywhere, right? So suppose, like, if you unknowingly, if it happens, we cannot help it, right? When you're walking on street, you step on an ant, anything. But if you see some insect, right, instead of killing it, you can try to hold it in a paper and throw it out. That insect has its own karma, that insect has its own lifetime, it will go in its own. You don't have to go and kill someone purposely, okay? Many of the small kids have the sticks and they go behind ants, right? They will go behind birds. So that's not good. So if you see somebody doing that, try to tell them that this is not good. Okay? Everybody understood the intoxication part and the Nalkuvera story?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we have 2 minutes and I was told that Jagannath wanted to share something about Ravana. Jagannath, are you still willing to share something? Or else tomorrow, it's just 1 minute. Do you want to share tomorrow, Jagannath? Is he with us?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so do you want to share tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, so please remind Mataji, okay, that you can share tomorrow about Ravana, the thing which you wanted to share.
Okay.
So thank you everyone for joining, and I hope this intoxication you always remember, because this is a very important part in your lives, because as you grow in big standard, big grades, you will see that there will be many people who will try to take you on the wrong path and try to persuade you that, oh, this is good, once in a while you can have it, it's not going to be bad. See, on the TV you see so many people doing it, but every time remember, if out of 10, 9 people are doing something wrong, that does not make the wrong right. Okay, so always remember whatever is being taught to you from the Bhagavad Gita, and try to, in this Kartik month, try to at least read one verse every day as an austerity. Okay, so we'll end the call over here. Vancha kalpataru vyascha kripa sindhu vaischa ram pavani
Mataji, Jagannath wants to tell something for
Yes,
1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Jagannath wanted to just share one thing, just for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead, Jagannath.
I call my friends for Damodar Aarti.
Very nice, very nice. That's very nice. Good job. You all can do something like this. Sorry?
I made them do one.
I made them do.
Good job. Lord Krishna is going to be very happy with you all. Okay, so we'll end the call over here. Hi Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you.